We are back once again. Can we rewatch podcast? We are rewatching the challenge, season 42, Cutthroat, episode 4. And Jimmy, it's nice to have you back, my guy.
Long
My guy
time.
Scrim. I'm Media Markus, and yeah, Scrim was on vacation, man. Are you tan, bro? How are you feeling?
Like I love that. I'm feeling good, recharged, bro. Definitely had a blast. I'm happy to be back just in time to catch the next episode of the challenge. This is a great way to get back acclimated. But yeah, I had a blast. Miss y'all, man.
Yes, sir. We are on it. Can we rewatch podcast? We're here, Scrim and Media Markus, and let's get straight to it. Just like this new format does, we get straight to the challenge. This is the second episode in a row. Well, not the second. It's at least the third episode in a row. We got straight to the challenge, and we see the teams kind of coming in on a boat and saying, "Hey, we see the challenge," and we get right into it once again. But this is a diving challenge. And you know what? I told you, coming into this, I actually would have been prepared for this, and I'll tell you why. But what did you think about this diving challenge that we had?
I thought it was a good challenge. This is the first swimming challenge, right? Of this season. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and we also seen in the past, like swimming's always been a great neutralizer for different competitors. So it's really nice to see them implement a water challenge. And as we've seen some competitors do really, really well. And then we've seen some struggle. Some that might be more concerned than others, right? Because we've seen some that have been struggling up until this far, like Nelson and Maria. And so we're like, all right, so it's starting to the writing's starting to become on the wall. Like, we talked about, are the vets washed, right? So just some one of the things we ended up seeing. But I was excited. I thought it was a great daily challenge. How about yourself?
Yeah, I was excited to see this one as well because you don't really realize like the fact that people cannot do this, right? Like diving is not something that comes naturally to people. It is definitely something that is what do they call that? Like an acquired taste, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not something that you do in a regular. It's not something that maybe you don't prepare for, especially when these people are just running and lifting to get ready for the challenge. But one the I would say this. I feel like the best out of the best, like a Jordan or somebody, like they prepare for these things, right? This is a possibility. Puzzles as well in the off season. You prepare for those things. But I actually have a lady I used to work with who's very
Hmm.
nice. Shout out to Moni, Monica. She's very nice. She's from I think she's from Colombia. Shout out to that. But
Shout out to
she
her.
she she loves me. She loves me. She always has. She's very like embracing of me, bro. But her husband in Florida, they live in Miami,
Nice.
is a diving instructor. She
Oh,
always
okay.
invited me out. She always told me, "Oh, come on." Obviously, I don't think you can take a plane like after doing that. You know what I mean? So she said, "You have to stay for a few days. We'll teach you how to dive, etc." The offer's still on the table, so I might do that one day. But definitely an acquired taste here, and some people knew what to do, and some did not. And the blue team once again looks so bad. And I think that the person who really sticks out in this aspect is Cara Maria. What was she doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think like she definitely did bad, but from my perspective, I'm not holding it against Connery. I'm gonna tell you why. Connery has never been a good swimmer.
Hmm.
Connery is a multi-time champion. She's never been a good swimmer. So you struggling in the swimming challenge, it's on par. I think what's more so is the compounding of just her start to the
Yeah.
season so far. I think that's the issue, and that's why it seems like it's starting to pick up some momentum. But quite frankly, if I'm looking at this individually, I'm not concerned at all, because she's never been a strong swimmer. The same thing to go with Nelson. And I just being someone that personally knows how to swim, swimming in a pool and swimming in the ocean is two different things.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. It's tough. So if you're not a big swimmer, it can definitely be something that can be difficult for sure.
Yeah, so we saw both of them struggle, and the blue team was actually doing really good with it. Their young people, sort of the rooks and people that are on the second season stuff like that. But they struggled. The veterans did. Nelson with the leg, and he actually took it off. I
Hmm.
thought that was a pretty good moment though. Like shout out to Nelly T, just seems like he is different. He's moving a little different. He's moving with intention this season. So I mean, he didn't do well, but he definitely tried. He did. He put his all out there. So respect to that. But he's lucky it wasn't a man's day because he definitely would have been in.
For
But
sure.
yeah, Carr and Nelson did struggle, and we see the Orange team come together once again and get a second victory in a row. How'd you react to that?
I love that. And I was him rooting for the orange team, but shout out to Johnny. Like Johnny, he was looked like he was one of the leaders of their team, being able to swim really, really well. And then Will, former Marine, swimming really, really well. And it just shows how well rounded their team is. They got Tori, who's been doing really, really well. So I was really, really excited to see them put it together. And like I said, I want to go on the record to say, outside that DQ, they've been dominating.
Yeah, yeah. Orange Team has been playing really good. They have the momentum now. It started with great those first two episodes, but now going into episode 5, there's no way you can say Gray has the advantage now. It seems like Orange Team is and it's obviously early in the season. We don't know how many episodes we're going to get.
Right.
Hopefully it's not too many, but we don't know how many episodes we're going to get. But right now, Orange Team is ascending. The chemistry is there. Tori is doing so great. And you know what the thing that people always put Tori and Cara sort of against each other. They
Mhm.
say, Tori, they kind of wanted Tori to do well after seeing her in Dirty 30, less Cara Maria appearance and stuff like that. But right now, you're seeing Cara struggle and you're seeing Tori, really be great and confident in her ability, already a champion. And it just reminds me of sort of like that player X who, dominated for a decade or whatever, done all these, has all the accolades, but you got somebody like Ant Man, or maybe she's not at that not that young. Tori is, but you got someone who's like ascending or SGA, and it's just like I'm just confident in what I do. I know that I'm good. I know that I'm going to play the game well. And I even saw Tori giving Nurys. And we're gonna get into Nurys soon, but I saw Tori giving Nurys some advice and just telling her to stay, chill. And I just feel like Tori is just in a really great place right now. So is your Orange team. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said, and I also think Tori. I think she's a different competitor this season. I think like you can tell like she's not drinking as much. She's not really caught up into the drama as much.
Yeah,
She's playing it back. Like she hasn't got that much TV time, but that's a good thing, right? She's not no, she's there's no balls out on her back or anything like that. She obviously doesn't have a romance going on with anybody on the show for the first time, or whoever, how
love
many
that.
seasons. Yeah, see what I'm saying? So I just think that her strategy and I don't know, just the place she is, and as a competitor, I think it just comes off like she's in a different space, and I think that's helping her grow. Because just to speak on what you said, like when they wanted her to be the new face for women, I just think she got that recognition, but didn't go anywhere with it. Like she
Yeah,
plateaued for a lot of seasons, right, and never took that next step. So I think you did make an accurate analysis, and I think like she need to get a dub. Like at the end of the day, she needed to get a dub if she want to take that next step. And I think it's there for
yeah.
the taking, too. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, we saw her get that dub, and now she wants to do it again, obviously, and take home this one as well. On the first season on Paramount Plus, this is Can We Rewatch podcast. We are rewatching the challenge, season 42, episode 4, and let's get into Leo a little bit. At first, I had my note here, which is Leo revenge tour. And we can talk about that a little bit, but I also want to
Mhm.
talk about Leo and his relationship with Anna Lay, a wife, someone's wife, Anna Lay, and how that got certainly it went past the lines, right? For a married woman, Anna Lay, to talk with Leo. So touch on that first, and then we can get into Leo's sort of revenge story.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't care too much for his revenge tour, only because it's only with so much you can do, right?
Yeah,
You become a captain, but at the same time, like you're limited on how much revenge you can kind of, because you ultimately want to win, right? But let's talk about his love life, man. And I'm on the opposite side of you. I'm being completely honest with you, and I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion. I don't think she did nothing wrong. Be honest with you. I'm like, all right, hear me out, right? This is week. She a country girl. This is week 13, 14. She ain't been home to ride her favorite horse in a while. right?
Week
And she
13 or 14? What do you mean week
You
13
guys,
or
you
14?
gotta think that they're quarantined for a certain amount of weeks, and then they start filming for a certain amount of weeks. So she's has been away from her husband for who knows how many weeks, and it's not like she hit on him and start rubbing on him, or she let somebody, you know what I'm saying, grab her. She's saying how she felt and left it at that. I think it's being blown out proportion, and I think it's more so like people on the outside looking in like, oh, she shouldn't be saying that as a married woman. I was like, in your relationships, it's not that deep to me. Like, be honest with you, she didn't kiss anybody, she didn't touch anybody. I think you should be able to say what you want to say, and that's why when I went back and found out that they're still married, I'm like, that's what's up, because it really wasn't that deep from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
So
sure
tell
they're
me your
still married
perspective.
now. I mean, no, that's why I love you, Jimmy. That's a great perspective to have. You're right. She did not cross any lines. Maybe said some things that it's like, oh, that's a little raunchy, but nevertheless, she did not draw any lines. But I mean, to see this on TV, and this is your partner, this is the person that you're sitting next to or you're laying next to every day. I can definitely see how someone feels a way about that. But yes, they are still married. But that is obviously today, and today the episode came out, so we'll see going forward. But I mean, in the backlash, it comes around that, right? Like people know
I
this
get
is your
that.
wife. People in your
Mm-hmm.
hometown are like, hey, this is, you know what I mean? Hey, my girl's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be on the show. My wifey, she's gonna be on the show. Now everybody sees this, so there's a lot of things, pressure around that as well. But like you
It could have
said,
been worse. It could have been way worse.
could have been way worse. We've seen way
They weren't
worse.
even cuddling. Like, it was a good little
It was a
distance,
good distance.
and it's not like she said, "Hey, you're so sexy." She was
Mm,
just saying, "I'm horny."
right.
Like, I think that's like, like it's really not crossing the line. It's just everybody want to people on a pedestal when they're observing someone else's relationship. On this, I don't think it's that deep.
Ooh, look at Scrim. We are here. Season 42 of the challenge. Can we rewatch podcast? No, very, very good stuff there. But yeah, as far as Leo's revenge tour, I feel it's similar to what you do. Similar to what you said. He couldn't do too much. You still want to win. These are your teammates. I do think just the fact that he was just being very vocal about it and drawing the lines, I do like that. I do love that fact, actually. The fact that he's drawing those lines and being outspoken about it, because some people were just like, oh, like we've seen previously when we rewatched season 20, the original episode of the original season of Cutthroat, and Brandon and feeling like, oh, maybe, I'm good. I went in, I won. They're not going to send me in. And Leo didn't even go down in the sand, right? Like, he was just a nomination. But it's just like, yo, he's really taking this to heart.
And that's
But
yeah. And just to add one thing to that,
yeah,
well, Leo's not the only one. Nurys was talking about when she come back, there's gonna be a reckoning and things like that. I think the best strategy is to keep your cool and try to get, now that you know how the numbers shake, try to get more numbers on your side. Say, hey, they did this to me, they can do this to you. Let's try to stay in line, and this, because especially with the captains rotating, there's ways to go about it. I think like alienating your team is never going to help in the long run. All it does is like they're going to continue to vote you whenever they have a chance. Like, um,
yeah. And you brought her up, but speaking of Nurys, this was a Nurys episode where she just I don't love Nurys's game right now. This is
mm-mm.
someone who's been, I think she went to a final in season 39. I could be incorrect about that, but I know
41.
she
40. What's the one where her and Leo they thought they was the real winners, but they came like second? Was that 40 or 41?
I think that definitely wasn't 40.
39. I was
I thought it was
39.
39.
Okay.
It was 39.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, Reese, and she beat Horacio and Kylan in elimination on 39 as well. So
That's what it was then.
she's done some really good things, and she's had some really good moments. But last season, she went home first. She was in the first person. No, season 40 rather. First person to go home, and then in this one, she's the second woman to go home. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a little bit of a spoiler alert. But in this, so I'll guess I'll take that part out. But yeah, so spoiler alert. But Nurys goes into elimination, but I feel like at this point, she's not playing a very good game, because it's just like, why are you with Chris? At what point are you, like everybody seems to know that Sydney's is Chris's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you're running around doing what Chris wants to do, and I just really do not understand this at all. Like, it made absolutely no sense to me. And now when she's up for elimination, she's like, "Oh, Chris hasn't even come talk to me. He hasn't done." I'm like, how do you even know Chris? Why are you running with Chris? You never played a season with Chris. Like,
Hmm.
where are your real allies at? And I feel like she didn't come into the game of none. She's sort of learning that, hey, I don't have the people that I thought that I had at least a few seasons ago. And I just hate her game right now. But what do you think about it?
I think I hit her. I 100% hit her gameplay. I mean, like you said, following behind a Chris, but I think that kind of speaks more so as a Chris leadership ability to be a leader, and people that don't even know you are fall in line in your ranks without you even having to talk to them, without you
Right.
having to get your hands dirty. So, but that's another story for another day. I just think he's just playing absolutely well. But her, I just think, especially outside the game, just how her energy, how she's engaging other people. Her confidence is on a level of she's a champion. She did something, and I just feel like, although you might have had a little win or a couple elimination wins here or there, the confidence level, the entitlement that she feels like, the audacity of someone will vote her in. Point blank period. Someone said she's the weakest person on my team. So if that's even a debate, right? I just think you should just be a tad bit humble, and just focus all that energy you calling people out, and you know what I'm saying, getting in arguments and want to let everybody know how you feel. Just focus that into trying to get back and then pop it, because you popping it when you need to be word locked in. I think just the end result was because of that.
Yeah, she popped it at everybody except Chris. And I like Nurys a lot. I follow her on TikTok. I am a fan of
Mhm.
her. I love when her and Rossio together. Obviously, they're not now. So I don't want to feel like it's just like real just shade. It's just like she's even said it herself. I wish I would have played this game differently. And that's the thing. And it's like you can be someone's number two, right? Like that's how the challenge works. Everybody can't
Mhm.
be everybody's number one. But you
Right.
can't be somebody's number two on the same team. You got to go back and rewatch season 20 to understand the
Mhm.
game that you're about to
Mhm.
play. So these are the things that I'm talking about. And I just like you said, it's like you're popping it all the time. You're angry, upset. You're making yourself a target maybe in last episode because you're going at Adrian and Josh. And it's just like, yo, Nurys, learn from Tori, who's trying to coach her up in some of these instances. Just lay back, figure things out. Stop popping it because when you got down there in the sand, it didn't look exactly like that. And it's just like I'm rooting for her though. Like, I want Nurys to see. I want to see her do well. I want to see her get to a final. I want to see her win.
Mhm.
But obviously this season she's having a rough one. So, but I do like the fact that. Well, another thing about Nurys, why go with Keanu?
Because Keanu didn't vote for you, but you also didn't. You voted against Keanu the elimination before. So what does he owe you?
Nothing. It would have been
I think she's
redundant.
mad because he didn't give her an explanation before he voted for her. He doesn't owe you that. And like he said, you knew you was going in. So why do I need to tell you that you wrote
Cause she's in her feelings, and it's like you got to get out your
it?
feelings and get in your bag and get into the because she's a strong competitor. She can run. I've seen her run and outsmart, and she can outsmart people as far as like puzzles and things like that. But her political game needs to get on point. She needs to really have a team coming in, and you can't be someone's number two when y'all on the same team. Not on the cutthroat season. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
it's not
that
right.
it doesn't work that way. But yes, but had nothing for Chris at all. Didn't understand that. But shout out to my guy Chris.
Because he was
Just
aware
getting
that he
back.
deserved it, but he keeping his hands clean. And I kudos to him. That's
Yeah.
ideal.
What do you think about Corey though standing on business with
Standing
his
on
vote?
business.
With his vote, he
Oh,
didn't vote. Narice said, "Just vote
oh,
me.
when he
You can
said,
do
as
this."
he should, as
Mm-hmm.
he should. Because
Yeah,
if she wins, you still, like you should, I think that, and his vote didn't matter if you want to think about it.
for sure.
I think like when you calculate it and then like, hey, I'm not the Italian vote. It's easier to ride out with a friend,
Yeah,
and then both you keep both sides happy in that situation. Then it's a win-win scenario on the back, and whoever wins, right? I think when you're the deciding vote, we can give Corey credit for standing on 10, but it
I
didn't
got
really
you.
matter. It's
I got you. Yeah, this isn't like Yeah, I got you. I totally understand that. But I did.
not like that Leroy Burn vote, right? It's just like,
Yeah, right. It's at the very end. I do.
mm,
I want to point two things out though. I do like the fact that Corey stood on business, and he's like, "Yo," because I know what it is. You guys are Team Chris, and guess what? Like I'm a guy on this team as well. And it, once the Keanu, if he's out, I'm probably next, right? So he understands the concept of this. But it's also I thought about it's so Corey. You know we always talk about Corey and his staying power and how he gets these game checks and he doesn't win, he hasn't won anything, right? He hasn't won a championship, but he might come in third, get you, you know what I mean, as far as the final goes. And I remember that season where he just kept changing partners and everybody, all his partners ended up going home or ended up going
Yeah,
into
yes.
elimination.
Hmm.
It's so Corey, but guess what Corey was doing? Staying around, getting those game checks. I felt that was a super Corey moment, but standing on business. I wasn't mad at it because she said, "Hey, just say my name." I was like, "No, I'm actually not going to do that. Like, I don't care."
And yeah, that made it better. But then I
Yeah.
also think like how many people's on that team like does it hurt him in the long term? I think that's you pose a great question. And I just like laying where his loyalties lie and now knowing in hindsight that he put his money behind the losing horse. How does that affect him long term with his team, right? And well, I guess we'll find out.
I don't think it affects him too much. Just off the like, Keanu's the guy. Everybody says Keanu's name. Maybe Sydney might give Corey a vote, right, just to return the favor.
Mhm.
But Keanu's the guy right now. You're gonna go in. If we lose, you're the guy. So I
Yes.
don't think we're going to see too much out of it. So Corey wants to keep Keanu around, maybe a little more than Nurys at this point. All right, so let's get into the actual elimination. We end up seeing one of the reasons that Adrian got voted in is because her best friend Izzy's up there and she's not going to vote her in. So Nurys already knew the writing on the wall. She was going
Mhm.
to be the one in this elimination. But we ended up seeing her go against your girl. What's her name again?
Annalise.
Anna Lay. I
Anna
was
Lay.
Anna Lay.
Hey, and she got a fan out of me at this elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Just because one, Nurys is she's a big girl, like from a height perspective, and I mean, obviously we haven't seen her perform in physical eliminations, but I mean, as I literally thought Nurys was going to win. Like, just I didn't know who to put my money on, so just watching, I thought Nurys was going to show up. And then she looked like she had a little bit of a strategy in the beginning. She's like, "I'm gonna go up top," and like, even if it's not the best strategy, I love a strategy. Like, at least have
Yeah.
some. Don't just,
Yeah.
don't just go with this. So just being able to tell her, like, hey, okay, I'm gonna go up top and try to get those ones first. And then she's talking about, I carry hay around the crib all the time. I said, oh, she probably got some strength. She probably got some muscle. Like that country strength is we
Yeah.
know, we know about country strength. So I said, oh, she got some potential. And then like watching it and seeing how she dominated. And obviously she had the house behind her on the side, just just giving her tips and things like that. And as we've seen Nurys struggle to the even keep up and pull her puzzle pieces out of the wall, it just made me more. It was just I was so much more impressed. The gap, like it wasn't close. It
Yeah.
wasn't close. And so like I didn't think it was that much of a skill gap, but to see how much she dominated, I was like, oh, maybe a star was born. In more
Yeah.
ways than one.
Yeah,
This
and
was her episode.
I've been feeling Anna Lay. I think she definitely has some presence. I think that Tori mentioned on Zach Nichols' podcast that maybe she has some like staying power. She could be around for a while if she wants to. So I'm feeling her as well. Like I'm liking her game. She doesn't like pop off too much. Like even in that challenge, she did great. Cara Maria did horrible, but she wasn't going at Cara Maria. Josh was, which is another story.
Mhm.
But I like her game. I like the way she's playing. I like her confidence, all of that. But once I saw the actual elimination, I was not going to put my money on Nurys. I just felt that Nurys, it had a lot to do with strength in this one. And I've seen Nurys is very toned, but
Yeah,
she
you're
doesn't
right.
have too much like weight on her. So I thought that it was going to be tough. She did better than Derek H in Dirty 30 when he went against
Mhm.
Corey. I don't know if you remember that one, but I just felt that this wasn't her elimination. But at this point of the game, you shouldn't be in elimination. You're a veteran. You should have your allies. You should have people looking after you. And she just did not have that. Besides Nelson and Corey, and yeah, I feel like her battle was. I feel like what really did her in is her voting in. Voting for Leo. Like you have to
Oh yeah,
choose
the
a
episode
side
before. Yep.
because at that point Leo can be an ally for you, and maybe like he votes in Sydney all strength, right?
But her
No,
confidence, her ego felt like that
yeah,
vote was never going to come back to bite her.
you're
That's like
right.
the way she was carrying herself. She never thought in 1,000 years that it mattered.
Yeah,
And that naiveness is more why. That's why it rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, why you feel so confident,
mm,
secure, or safe? And just so I think that's one of the things that came back to bite her. And like you
yeah,
said earlier, Leo was like, I don't got no lawyers. Who's one person. That's the only
Yeah.
person that try to save me, and I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that.
And if you had Leo as an ally in that moment, maybe you can try to convince him, hey, you need to say Sydney's name. She's either gonna like not say Sydney's name or she's gonna say Adrian, and it's gonna be a stalemate. And you guys gotta figure like we gotta do something. But Leo's like, yo, it's whatever. You can go in there, you can go home. I don't care.
Yeah, and also like not even just to add on to that, it's like if you get Leo on your side, now the vote is a little bit closer. Now you might be able to tell Keanu, if you don't vote for me, the line's drawn in the sand.
Yeah.
Keanu, you know you're going to get voted in next. Do you? If you want us to be on your side, you need to. She could have
Mm-hmm.
been able to negotiate it, but she didn't have the numbers to do that because she wasn't thinking proactively because she was so falsely confident that she was safe.
With my guy Chris, but Chris is only looking out for him and his number one Sydney. Everybody else is
It's,
expendable. So
it's hard to look out for too many people in this game model. So
yeah.
yeah,
For sure. So Nurys went home. I hate to see it, but I think she'll be back, and I think she'll be better and learn from this experience. But yeah, she's got to be better than that coming into the game, and she's got to be better just from the standpoint of knowing who you need to rock with and knowing who you need to go against. And she didn't see that; she saw it too late. So sayonara, Nurys.
adios.
Yes. So we'll see her next time. But yeah, that is episode 4 of the challenge, season 42. Can we rewatch podcast? Scrim Media Markus. And these episodes are only 47 minutes with like no preview for the next
No,
episode
yeah,
either. So
yeah. That's what I
they,
thought was interesting about the preview. But I do have a question for you before I let you go.
yeah,
With 4 episodes in, who's your most valuable player and who's your least valuable player?
very good segment here. Most valuable. It might be Johnny Bananas. Might be Johnny
Okay,
Bananas at
Johnny.
this point because he's went down into the sand. He won. He's been he sent home blue team, right? Sent home somebody from blue. He's also orchestrated the last 2 wins, which kept Orange out of it and sent some other people home. So and he's been very vocal and leading things. And you talked about his swim, so he's my probably most valuable. Least valuable player. Damn, it's got to be Cara Maria at this point.
Con Maria.
It's got to be Cara Maria at this point. Hate to see it, but I mean, she's got more time. But yeah, at this point, out of the 4 episodes, she's my least valuable player. Johnny Bananas is my most valuable player. What
I
about
love
you?
that, especially with the Johnny thing, because like I said, one elimination win, especially to kick off the season. His team technically, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying technically, they technically won 3 out of the 4 daily so far, but we're gonna go 2-2.
Yeah.
But just to be able to be the leader of the team that won 2 out of the last 4, just a testament to his leadership, right? And then I think it's hard being a leader of leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has a lot of egos in his, on his team. So just being able to be a strong competitor and just gonna have to back it up on that team. So he's definitely done that so far. And then Maria, yeah, I think we've seen her blow up this episode. So I can definitely agree with that. Although I think 2 other people should have stepped up for that being CT. But I have a controversial take about CT. I don't
What's
think we
up?
ever seen CT take up for someone that didn't benefit himself.
I mean, that's not true. That's what Johnny Bananas has been saying most of their career. It's like, oh, he only
If
does
it
things for
doesn't
himself.
benefit, if it don't directly affect him, he just plays the background, say, yeah, they're right. Like I understand where they're coming from, but he might even vocalize support in the commentary, but he's never there on the front lines to support them. And I think like that was today's episode was a testament because Comrie she could have used some confidence. She could have used someone to back her up, and didn't have that. And I think Nelson definitely should have backed her up as well. Because I think they was technically talking about Comrie and Nelson, but they just wanted to spare him. But you're the vet, and y'all the vets on the team, so they're talking about Comrade. It's really talking about you too. So, yeah. But I love those two. My number one MVP, Letty. Got to be Letty. Got to be Letty. Although she's on the blue team, is not being successful. She's every single daily challenge is amazing, and every time I think that she can't like impress me more, she shows up and tells me she was a D2 swimmer. And now she's the first person across the ocean in a daily challenge. Like, what can she not do? She's 6 foot
Win.
one.
She
She
can't
wrestles.
win.
Her
she
team
can't win.
stinks. She has
So
Kyler Wade on her team.
I feel you, but I mean, listen, Peyton Manning can put up great numbers, but if
But
your team
okay.
goes 0-16, like you're not MVP
Hey, but okay, I'll give you that for now. I want to see
for
it.
now.
Man, this is her rookie season, but she's
Rookie
doing
of the
very
year.
well.
She's rookie of the year. You can say
Rookie year
that.
so far for sure.
Roy.
And then least my least valuable is just hands down have to be Nelson. Understand and just it is. I'm a black and white person. It ain't personal. Love him to death. It's just he's a liability at this point, and I don't
I'm
think
not
he
mad at
has
Nelson.
the. I just don't think he has the skills or the politics to stay safe much longer. I
I
don't.
don't
I don't
think
see him. I don't see how much. I mean, how more episodes he lasts.
I feel that. I think he does have the politics though right now, at least in his favor with the veterans. Like nobody wants to send him in. I mean, eventually, listen. Nothing. He has never been the greatest. He got really close in 29, came in second to CT.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he's going to give you. He's going to be sort of a bull in a china shop, but Nat is a very good thinker, forward thinker, stuff like that. So, it's just really good to see him. But yeah, I totally get that pick, so I'm not mad at that.
Bet. All right. That's all I had. That's all I had.
All right, there it is. Can We Rewatch Podcast, season 42 of the challenge, episode 4, cutthroat season, as we see Nurys go home in this episode. But
Good episode.
that is it for us. Appreciate you all for listening and tuning in. Remember to subscribe to the podcast. Can We Rewatch Podcast, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all of those things. And we will see you soon. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening.
Tap in, guys.